Hey, welcome back to the Genius Maltby channel for today's viewer requested video. You guys might not realize it, but I do listen when I get a couple of messages and ideas from you guys requesting a certain topic or video discussion. I try to run with it and go ahead and produce that material for all of you out there on the Genius Maltby channel that want to comment and discuss this particular topic. And this video couldn't be done without our friends over at Demonocracy. I'm going to give a shout out to them. If you guys get a chance, you'll see some slides here as we move into the discussion pointing to their website. They put out some amazing material, great visual aids. Really hope you guys can take a look at those afterwards. This is a silver specific video. As you saw just a couple days ago, we put out the video titled All the Gold in the World, just to try to get a visual idea of what certain weights and sizes of gold look like, because it's quite difficult to picture values and amounts and sizes and volumes of gold when none of us are ever going to be wealthy enough to have to deal with that type of amount or that volume of gold. So it kind of aids in the visual. You know, when you hear $1 trillion, what does $1 trillion in gold probably look like, or a billion, 100 billion? Hopefully that last slideshow helped with that. Today, we're going to do the same thing with silver. And we're going to have to look at the price of silver real quick as we go into today's discussion. It's up a little bit there, up 1% at $16.15 respectively. You see a chart there. Silver's been doing pretty well. You know, it's up above 16. It was below 15 just recently. I believe we even mentioned that in a video, so that would have been a great time. You're already up $1.10 an ounce on just the recent moves in silver. So silver's looking pretty healthy. There's a demonocracy.info economic infographics. Very well made, very professional site there. So here's a list on their main page of just some of their brief articles and infographics that they've created. Just staggering amounts of information in each one of these. Just looking at some of the, like for example, the U.S. revenue and deficit in $100 bills to see how much money the U.S. government spends. The fiscal cliff 3D cheat sheet. Looking at the Federal Reserve's money printing failure, the bottomless cash pit. Another incredible image there of just how much money disappears. Let's get into today's silver size charts and check out the amount of silver that there is in the world, supposedly, and how it compares to the amount of gold in the world. Now we're going to start off as we did with the gold chart that you saw in the last video. This chart's standard silver bullion size comparison. The silver bars are measured by silver volume and weight. Now these are some typical silver bar dimensions. As we see here, we got the 5 gram, 10 gram, troy ounce bar, 100 gram bar of silver, and 250 gram bar of silver. The most common two are probably the ones in the middle there, the troy ounce and the 100 gram bars. Here you've got the 500 gram bar, the kilo. There's a nice little kilo bar of silver. You see those quite often. Then you get your 5 kilo and your 15 kilo. And just compare that 1 kilo bar and that kilo cube of silver compared to the kilo cube of gold to give you a little bit idea just the density of gold as it compares to silver. Now keep in mind the values that you're going to see on some of these are going to have to be cut in half. When Demonocracy put this particular article together several years ago, it was when silver was quite elevated in price. And you're going to see the prices here reflecting silver at about $31 an ounce. So today we're on 16, but it's been 15 lately. So let's just call it 50%. So cut the prices you see in half when we get to the valuations here. So here we go. Here's a ton of silver. 1 ton of silver valued equals $1 million if it's at $31 an ounce. So we're going to call that $500,000 in silver right there. So if you have $500,000 in cash, you could convert it to that volume of silver pretty easily. Actually, you can buy large amounts of silver without that much difficulty today. One interesting fact, and I've read it elsewhere, and it's also mentioned here on this slide, is that silver is not purposely mined. About 80% of new silver production is a byproduct from mines that are going for gold or copper. This is due to silver's recent low value compared to the other metals. Silver has the best electrical conductivity of any element and the highest thermal conductivity of any metal. Silver is very valuable in its industrial and military applications, as I think a lot of you guys are more familiar with than even I am. I know there's a lot of silver stackers that stop by this channel, and you guys are very well versed in the applications and values that silver has inherently as an element. And yes, it's a valuable metal, and a lot of the applications, as you'll see towards the end of this video, result in silver being destroyed, vaporized at times, atomized, I guess is the word. This image, the 1,000-ton block of silver is so large in this computer-generated image that we had to break it into two pictures. So here's the bottom half, bottom two-thirds of the photo, and you'll see that there's the ton of silver, that little cube over there with next to a ton of gold. You can also see the spheres. They look like beach balls. There's a ton of gold and a ton of silver there. And at the very bottom, you'll see the very small bars that we were discussing earlier next to the pocket knife. There's also a 10-ton block of silver and a 100-ton block of silver. The 1 ton of silver is worth $1 million, as we discussed earlier, if it was $30 an ounce, but we're going to call that $500,000. So for $500,000 in cash, you could get that nice beach ball sphere that weighs a ton of silver. Now, according to this article, silver has run a 63-year-long supply-demand deficit as of year-end 2004. This is mainly due to silver getting lost in industrial production demand, including X-rays, photography, mirrors, electrical, and electronic products. This amounts to a deficit of 331.46 tons since 1942. I'm going to throw some links in on this video, so be sure to visit the About tab or the Show More tab at the bottom here of the screen. There's going to be a couple of links that are the sources for some of the supply-demand information related to silver that I found on Demonocracy. So any of you guys that are big-time silver stackers or silver investors, hopefully this video can kind of become a little resource for you, and you can dive into some of those links if you haven't seen them already. So a lot of information here we're going to be hitting, and we're drinking from a fire hose. There's going to be a lot of information hitting us just in this one video. This is 1,000 tons of silver, as we just discussed, compared to 100 tons of silver. Pretty big block of silver there. Now wait till you see these next images. It gets pretty exciting. Here's the world silver reserves. 29,665 tons. Now these are the official holdings of silver. Some interesting facts on this image here as we look at the world silver reserves. You know, they state up above that the world governments have practically zero silver reserves, that it costs to store the precious metal, and the value has not been significant compared to gold and other precious metals. If you look down below, you'll see some other numbers. The BMG Bullion Fund, 156 tons. Silver ETF, 230 tons. Canadian Maple Leafs minted, 662.5 tons. And then if you look down, where is it? The COMEX warehouses, 3,548.9 tons. And then U.S. Eagles minted, 7,477.8 tons. So look at all those giant cubes of silver, each one representing different holdings, like the LBMA, London Bullion Metal Association. You got estimated stocks of 2,332.7 tons. Very large amount of silver there in each one of those, representing what supposedly these official holdings are. Now, I know a lot of you are probably questioning the truth or the reality behind some of this stuff being actually physically presented or even there. And that's, you have good questions. It's definitely a good skepticism to have. I can't answer those questions for you, unfortunately. I don't have that kind of inside information. I don't have the ability to prove or disprove whether or not certain entities hold the metals that they say they do. It's one of those things that we have to either take it as they say it or not believe it at all, or question it. So here you go. This is all the silver supposedly ever mined in history. It's 1,411,475 tons. On the left, you'll see that very large cube of silver there. That's silver that is currently in existence, 770,275 tons. This is the silver that's in all existing forms, not just accessible, purchasable silver resources. The silver on the right, that other large cube, is the silver that has been lost throughout history. And that represents 634,199 tons. Almost half the silver that's ever been mined has been lost in history, somehow. And then if you see that one cube to the right, that is all the gold ever mined in history. Now this might raise some friction between different people in the precious metals community, because I know there's a very large school of individuals who believes that silver is more rare or scarcer than gold. I've never ascribed to that belief. I truly do not believe that silver is more rare, especially when you look at the ratios they're discussing on how rare it is compared to gold. I know a lot of silver has been destroyed and lost throughout history and still is during a lot of its applications in industrial processes, but there is, from what I understand, geologically, a lot more silver on Earth, and that yes, it is a byproduct of a lot of mining operations. And if this image is at all accurate, even if we reduced some of the silver lost and some of the silver that's in existence, it does reflect accurately that there has been more silver brought up from the earth by humans than gold over time. So quite interesting, quite entertaining. Hopefully you guys got something out of today's quick look at all the silver ever mined in history and all the silver ever lost in history. Take a moment to stop by demonocracy.info, and don't forget about the links that I put down below to link you to some of the silver supply and demand articles that can be found elsewhere. Alright, thanks for visiting the Junius Maltby channel today. Hope you have a pleasant spring day. Take care of yourselves, and don't forget to pop a comment down below and hit the like or subscribe button to join the community here.